It's very steaming, Daddy.
Sorry?
It's very steaming.
Very steamy?
Yeah. Oh, what faults? Oh, this is exciting.
What weird turns do you think it should be doing?
Sometimes it changes direction.
Oh yeah. Look at the fire coming out of it. Really? For many of us, model engines were part of our childhood. I've shown you the South Island of New Zealand steam crane. When I was a child, I loved to think about the way things were connected in the world. And the steam engine to me was a magical device because I'd first, obviously, as a child of the 20th century, been introduced to the wonders of electrical stuff. So to find something that worked without any electricity and I could actually understand how the valve pushed that piston out, this was a major thing for me. I had a lot of fun with this. This was my first engine, 1982, so that's getting pretty old, but it's in pretty good condition. It runs just fine. It's made by a New Zealand manufacturer called David A. Auld. This was what I considered to be my first real engine, which is a real double-acting slide valve engine made by the famous engine manufacturer Wilesco in Germany. Old smoky version which Wilesco sold first. This is what we saw when I was a kid. This is what the traction engine rallies around Christchurch and Canterbury had. They had agricultural traction engines. And this is a slip eccentric double-acting slide valve with boiler, sight glass, whistle, steering. This is a fabulous little toy for a young boy, and straight away I was getting into little adjustments, prettying it up a bit. We've got a red dot of paint here, we've got a red dot of paint here. I've coloured this, I painted this red. This all happened 40 years ago. Rather than using solid fuel, I made myself a little, learned soldering and made myself a little methylated spirits burner. So we're going to use that today. I don't think this has run since about 1992. That's a long time between runs. The memories I have from this are very, very strong. Chugging up and down my driveway, pulling stuff. This was a big deal for me as a kid. It meant a great deal to me, and it started a hobby which goes to this day. It started a love of figuring out how stuff works. Let's get it going. I need some boiling water. If you don't have proper steam oil, you can mix up grease and oil together. I believe this is the original Wilesco funnel that came with it. I'm going to put some of my oil in this oiler here and just dab some pretty much wherever. This particular grease has some Teflon in it as well, which will help with the wear. This has been run a lot, this engine, but it's still not terribly badly worn. After 30 years, I guess we could expect some leaks or something, but I really don't know how that's going to go. I always believed in using masses of oil for this, and I'm happy to say that even the springs, which usually rust, even the little springs for the steering are not rusted. There's little places to put oil in this engine. Right, that's off and that's on. Open the whistle so the water can go in without getting, stuck. I usually put the funnel here and then the other funnel here, and then watch the water sight glass as I put the water in. This is easier when you're a young man and you can see what you're doing. Okay, it's just coming up at the bottom of the sight glass there, so we've got a wee way to go. Yeah, halfway up. So I usually do it about 50 to 75%. 75 if you want a couple of runs. 75 to 80. Check that everything's all right with my safety valve and put that in. Do that up as tight as I can with my fingers. The boiler's already quite hot. I'm going to put my funnel in before I forget. Now we need to put some meths in this thing. Oh, I need to turn off the whistle, otherwise it won't gain steam. And now we're going to put some meth in the burner. There we go. So the next step is to try not to burn the house down. It's always a good plan. It's a great idea to have everything ready so that as soon as you put the hot water in it, you're ready to light it, because otherwise it's going to be a bit difficult to see. Yeah, impossible to see. But we're going to stick that under there. Like, that's definitely on fire. Not massively on fire down there, but there is fire. So it's just going to take a while for that to heat up, because it's taken me a while since I've put the hot water in it. Okay, sticking my paws over this. It's not super hot, but it's starting. And as this starts to warm up, it'll start making these delicious ticking and steamy. I can already hear it with my ear close to it. I can hear it going. It's very exciting. It all takes me back massively. This engine had a lot of running in the 1980s and a very little couple in the early 90s. Okay, when you're boiling a jug of water, there's a change in the tone from a hissing to a deeper sort of bubbling sound. I'm starting to hear that now, so we're just going to see if we've got a little bit of steam. We do. Not enough to run the whistle, but you can tell it's trying. Okay, let's see if we can. Okay, so that's off and that's on. It's away. The first time in more than 30 years. Sounds pretty good. Sounds really good. Quite an even sound. Let's put it on the floor. And that makes a lot more of a noise, doesn't it? You can see the safety valve cracking away there. Let's have a look at the boiling. There's my flame, you can just see that. That's a absolutely classic view. Oh, and there's the pussycat coming. Hello. One pussycat. Hello. Steam coming out of the funnel is quite scaldy, so I've got to be careful not to put my hands on that. It still fills me with joy to run this engine. Right, it's got quite a bit of pressure up. I did check that everything was screwed up before doing that, because we don't want the look, this is the thing with steam engines, they just go and go and go. So how many years is it? This is probably early, like 1981, 1982, and it just runs beautifully, and that's incredible. You can just keep it on the shelf. I don't know what the revs is, but it's not inconsiderable. It's, you know, you are going to wear your engine out if you do that too much, so just going to calm that down a bit. Making beautiful smoke, well, steam. What an absolute joy to have this running again. And there she is. Beautiful, alive. And they really do live, steam engines. They really come alive in a way that so many other engines don't. I think the hit and miss engines do. They have a lot of character as well, and it's this character that attracts young kids to these engines and teaches them the magic and joy and character of these engines. So quiet, absolutely incredible. And that's the first run in more than 30 years. How well did it do? That's incredible. I'll let that cool down, and then I will, because it's too hot to touch, take the pressure safety valve out and empty it right now. But certainly to get the water out of it, you do need to open the whistle, otherwise you get a hydro lock and the water doesn't come out of the hole for the safety valve. Yeah, so I'm going to take the safety valve out when it's cooled down a bit. Okay, the process for removing the water is open the whistle, take the safety valve out, and invert it. If you don't open the whistle, you get hydro lock. I'm going to make sure there's as much water out of it as possible, because it's going back into, you know, on the shelf. But what a joyous time. Just puts a massive smile on my face. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. This is a Chinese-made engine. This is, the brand is Retrol by STIRLINGKIT, and this has a working proper Stephenson's link reversing. It has the tiniest little steam valve chest drain cocks you've ever seen. It has the most beautiful little scale industrial generator and a really well working light. We've got a steam regulator here, a whistle, sight glass, and it runs on alcohol, which is really convenient. So I think this is a beautiful introduction for the modern child. It's really pretty well made and runs very smoothly. It was easy kit to build. So I think that's a great thing to do with a kit, because the power of steam and the changing of one energy, heat energy, into physical energy and then into electrical energy. So it began an interest in science and those connections in the world I really think a practical machine like this is a must for kids, and I believe it made a big difference in my life for seeking out the meaning and understanding of things in our world. Hey, there he is. Hello.
Hi.
Do you want to try and start the engine again? Way, well done. Oh, I think that's good. Beautiful speed.
It's very steaming, Daddy.
Sorry?
It's very steaming.
Very steamy.
Yeah. Oh, what fault? Oh, this looks tricky.
Thank you. Well done.
Turn it on.
Oh, good man. You turned it on for Daddy. So we see the flame size?
Yeah. I see what's at the bottom.
Very small.
I can't.
What? Oh, well done.
Yeah. Ba, ba, ba.
Thank you. Now it's taking off, isn't it? I think that little burner's heated itself up again. Yeah, it has. Oh, yuck! Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuck! Wait! 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 Hey. A much easier option for a kid, I think, is something that just uses petrol. Yes, it's premix with a little bit of oil, but these are an incredibly good option for a kid. Everything is just so easy to access. If you want to tighten up a tolerance, you can just take, you can take the piston out in a couple of steps. Everything's visible. And it uses standard car petrol. This is one of the most reliable and cheapest engines that you can get from STIRLINGKIT or directly from OKMO models. It's a hit and miss engine, so the wear characteristics are really low because it's not something that you race, really fast. And they're just so reliable and so easy to use. That is a fantastic option for a kid. When I was a kid, nothing like that was available. And this was my first internal combustion engine. It's probably more than 65 years old now, but I'm not. This was already 20 years old when I got it. A neighbour helped me recondition it and helped me build a plane for this. So it was a balsa wood plane. It was free flight. You just launched it into the air. I remember in the beautiful Canterbury Plains of a summer, on a fine summer day, I have such vivid memories of walking out with my plane and a little bit of fuel to the nearest relatively empty farmer's field where I thought the plane wasn't going to go off and crash into somebody's house. And I would just launch, start this up and launch that plane at the sky, and it would pretty much go where it wanted. It would take these big lazy circles in this massive big blue sky that we had there on the Canterbury Plains in the South Island of New Zealand. It was like a religious experience for a kid. There was this thing would just hover in the air and it might catch a thermal from the field. It was like a metaphor for life. Wonderful memories. Look at this day. It's an absolutely bloody gorgeous day.